Hi YouTubers, gamers and everyone else. We're back and today I'm with my special guest star. Are you going to say hello, Caitlin? I'm tired. Say hello to the camera, come on, don't be lazy.
I can't play this.
That's the effort we get. That's the most you're going to get today, I'm afraid. Idle girls. She's a bone idol.
Be quiet.
Lazy. Can't get the star. Anyway, today is a pickup video. We haven't done one for a couple of weeks, have we? So let's have a look at what I've got. Mostly games. First of all, none games, I suppose, is original Nintendo Game Boy case. Got this from Cash Converters. Only £1. What I like about these is that they're easy to clean. Really, I just stick them in the washing machine, and they come up like almost like new again. Because you may notice that a lot of old Game Boy cases, especially if they're about 20 or 30 years old or whatever, they do smell a bit old, don't they, and musky and so forth. But you know, just stick them in the wash. Obviously, no Game Boy. Duh. Yeah, £4 you can't argue with that, can you? Original Game Boy case. Anyway. Okay, a couple of loose carts. As people know, I always complete in box games. I always get complete in box games. But I've got a little case here of some odds and sods Game Boy games and Game Boy Color and Game Boy and GBA ones, which I just get if I see games that look interesting, dirt cheap. So on my travels, if I see a couple of games that are only about a couple of quid or whatever, I tend to just pick a few of them up to eventually fill that little box up. So first of all, on the Game Boy, I got Montezuma's Return. Now, this one, I think you can get that on the Master System actually as well. But this one is a bit like a Indiana Jones type little adventure game, with almost like little Castlevania type elements in it, I suppose. Got that for £3. It's not an expensive game, it isn't, but no, it's quite a nice one actually for Game Boy. For Game Boy Color, I've never heard of this before, but it's based on a children's cartoon series. It's called Roswell Conspiracies, and this is a bit more of a top-down adventure type game, obviously based on sort of conspiracy, aliens and that sort of thing, so it's a bit of a storytelling in it as well there is, but that was £2, so you know, for £5 for those two games I thought that was okay to go with, you know, to go in that little box. Okay, what else have I got? Let's stick with the old games. Are you whinging, Caitlin? She's playing Star Wars Disney Infinity 3.0 the first the story mode based on the episodes 1 to 3. We played all the others, which are much better, but you know, we haven't played this one yet. Okay, on a PS1, I got this game for 15p, Max Power Racing. In the UK, Max Power used to be a car magazine, a car enthusiast magazine. I don't think it ever got to the States, this game. But for 15p, all complete. It's supposed to be quite a good racing game, actually. You know, you can't argue with that sort of money, can you? 15p, it's nothing, is it? Okay, moving on to PS2. Got a couple of games which I've never heard of before. One is like a NBA Jam type game, but on street. And one Street Ball. Not a common game. This is only about £1.50 from CEX. That was not a common game by any means. I think the reviews on it are okay. And this next one was about £1.75, and this has got extremely good reviews. This game has. It's very unusual. I've got it because I haven't got anything else like it. It's called Extreme Express. Basically, you take control of trains, and the idea is you race them and in extreme conditions. And the reviews on this are excellent. This is one of those sort of hidden gem type games whereby if you see it, you should pick it up. Apparently, it's loads of fun. So for £1.75, I can't argue. I'll be interested to know if this actually made it over to the States or not. So if anyone knows of this game in the States, please let us know. Alright, next lot of games are to complete my SOCOM collection. I've got a lot of SOCOM games on the systems from PS2, PSP and PS3. And there's 3 PS2 games I was after which I wanted to get complete with the headsets. You don't tend to see them too often in the wild. They're not expensive, but it's nice to, to get them all complete. So here's the first one, SOCOM US Naval Seals. This is quite minty, quite good condition actually. All complete with a headset, games, everything's all fine, manual, everything was all there. That was £3.50 delivered from eBay, so I thought that was pretty good. And then the second one, I got that from an Amazon shop. That was £6.50 all delivered. SOCOM 2. And this one is a bit rarer. The box is a little bit squashed. This one cost about £7, which is still quite a good price, really. So all 3 of those were under 20, is pretty good. And that is SOCOM US Navy SEALs Combined Assault. There is another PS2 game which I've got as well, which I don't think came as a box set. Barbara's got that on the standalone box, normal case and disc and manual, not in a box set like that with a headset. But I have got a couple of the PSP games that come with headsets too, so I've got a couple of those really, so it's nice to have those. Alright, moving from the PS2 to... Let's look at the old DS games. Okay, this one I never heard of before. It looks a bit wacky. It looks like a Sims type game based with sort of God type destruction. It's called Elements of Destruction. Basically, you control Mother Nature and the weather, and I think the idea is to try to, and meteors even, and earthquakes and all sorts of things. I think you try to, the idea is to cause as much mayhem and destruction as possible, really. This was like only about $1.75 from CX. It looks quite a good DS game as I go, really. So worth picking up if you see it cheap. Alright, this next game I've been looking out for years. To get the UK PAL version, it's quite difficult. To get the NTSC version, it's a lot easier. You could, up until recently, you can easily get them still from the Square Enix shop, but you can't get the PAL cop version. As a result, because the PAL version is not, I don't think it's necessarily rare, but because it's in such high demand, you hardly ever see them in the wild. And as a result, you're looking at usually about, anything between £25 to £35 a copy, really, at least. And if you try to order these on Amazon, you've got to be so careful because most of the time people send you the NTSC American copies, which are a lot more common. But this is a PAL version of Chrono Trigger. UK, like I said, that's what that's what us British collectors want. This is the UK copy. I've started playing this, still getting into it. Yeah, I've only played half an hour in it, so I'm not able to judge what it's like really. But I was thinking about how about getting a SNES copy. Now, for people in the States, you may not realise, or you might, we never got a official SNES copy of Chrono Trigger in Europe. It was only Japan and America. So the choice for people like myself is to either import an American copy, which costs mega bucks, as you all know, to get a complete box American copy. You're probably looking about £250, I would have said, really, typically. And I don't want to pay that on a SNES game. Now, the alternative is to get a Japanese copy, which are a lot more plentiful, a lot more common, and a lot cheaper. And that's what I did. For £13 delivered, I got a minty, complete Japanese copy of Chrono Trigger on the SNES, or Super Famicom. Basically, these carts are identical to a UK PAL one, so... But however, you may be saying, well, it's Japanese, how are you going to play it? Well, obviously I've got Retron 5 now, with translation patches, so I can play that if I wish to. I probably won't get around to playing it, because I'll probably just stick to a DS version. I've also got it on the PS1 as well, Chrono Trigger 2. But to have it, the original SNES version, it's nice for a collection. And like I said, it's so neat. It comes with a Japanese manual and tray and everything. It's 13 quid compared to £250 stateside. I know you say, well, at least it's English in stateside, but still, there's lots of other things you can spend with a difference, isn't there? And that's what I tend to do. Okay. While we're still in Nintendo games, moving on to the Wii. For about $6.99 from CX, which isn't a bad price for this game. I've got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. I do have this as well on the PS2, PS3 I think so. I do have this on other the PlayStations. This game is is one of the better Marvel games out there, and it keeps its price. It does, so that's not bad for that. Still got to get the first one off it on the Wii. Okay, these other two games are some cheap Wii U games which I got. This one was about £7. Rabbids Land. This one, you can only get this on the Wii U exclusive. Again, to go with my Rayman and Rabbids collections. And this one, I saw this in Smith's Toy Shop. You can get this on PS3 as well, but for this price I thought I'll just get this one and the first one when I see it cheap on the Wii U, which because it was only like £5. And that is Pac-Man 2, no, Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2. So I'm not sure if these are any good or not. These 3D type Pac-Man type adventure games, but I was thinking, hell, for a £5, it's worth it's worth having in the collection. Okay, moving on to PS3. First of all, to go with my 2008 games. As you know, I collect 2008 games because I spent Trouble Here was born, wasn't it, Caitlin? Caitlin, well, earth to Caitlin. Is anyone there? Jeez. I hope you're not like that in school. Anyway, yeah, that's about right. I have to speak to your teacher, I reckon. Yeah, I have to have a meeting.
I hope my teacher isn't watching this.
Yeah, me too. Okay, okay, this is another 2008 game which I didn't have in the collection. This is G1 Jockey 4, so it's a horse racing type game, 2008. It's different, isn't it? And it wasn't a lot of money. I think it was about a £5. I think it was from CX or something like that. It's not a common game either, it's not one you see too often. Okay, these next two games, I got this reduced from, I think it was Amazon I got this from. It was reduced to about £10 or £11. And that's Transformers Devastation. This is based on Generation 1 cartoons. This is supposed to be very good actually as Transformers games go. I do want to get a version on PS4 really. Not that I imagine that they play much differently or look that much differently really, because it's like old school animation style, so it probably doesn't really make much difference. But I think I'll probably hang on until I get a PS4 version before I play one. I'll keep that sealed. Okay, this next game, it's an uncommon PS3 game. It's good to see it on a good price. I think it's based on an original PC game, I imagine. It's a type of Indiana Jones Adventurers puzzle type game, I suppose. And it's called Adam's Venture Chronicles by Sodesco. Sodesco produced quite a few interesting games, especially on the PS3 now. So I got this for about £12, which isn't a bad price really, because for a long while it's been a lot more than that, and it's not one of the games that you see that often in the wild. Well, I've never seen it in the wild, so to get online, I thought I'd scoop that up really. Okay, moving on to PS4. Hey, can you see alright? Why are you getting that close to a telly? Do you need another appointment to see the optician or something?
Be quiet, you.
Anyway, what else were we? Yeah, PS4. Okay, I got this all sealed. There's a bit of a story behind this. First of all, I saw a used copy of this in CEX for 35 quid. I wasn't too sure if that was a good deal or not. I thought, it sounds like okay. They said it was complete, and so I thought, okay. Bought it, got home, and I read about it a bit more, and it was missing a soundtrack CD, so I took it back, got my money back. But also, when I actually did do my homework on Amazon, I ordered a sealed copy of the same game for $29.99, which is even better, obviously. And that is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. This is the Rook's edition. What I find funny about Assassin's Creed games, they tend to release them in about 3 or 4 different type version of collector's sets. There's also one of these which has the same contents plus a figurine called the Charing Cross edition, which was like a game, a UK store exclusive, and that's about. I've actually ordered a copy of that off eBay for about 50 quid, which was better than it was originally. I think it was about 80 quid when it first came out. But there's also another one which is like that, but it's also got some sort of piece of some kind of artifact. I think I'm not sure it's a pocket watch or replica pocket watch or something else, and I think that's called the Big Ben edition or something. I don't know. So I often find that Ubisoft tend to really exploit the Assassin's Creed collector's market for this. So we think, oh, there's lots of collectors over here, and they just release them in multiple formats just to cash in on people. I reckon they really do. So, I'm going to stop at a Charing Cross. I'm not going to bother with a Big Ben edition. It's just nice to get ones with figurines more than anything else, really. But there's so many Assassin's Creed games, aren't there? It's just it's a big genre to collect for. Fortunately, I got into collecting them since the first game came out, and I've got so many different types of Assassin's Creed games. Sadly, I haven't got around to playing them apart from the first one, which is insulting. I know you think, oh my god, how can you get that Assassin's Creed game and not get them? Well, it's just finding time in it. I'll probably jump into Black Flag given the choice when I get back into it, because I think a lot of people think that's the most fun one, that pirate one. So I'll probably get into it that way, but yeah. I do intend to play these games. I know I keep saying it. It's just finding time with them, because there's sometimes other games that pop along and think, oh, I'll rather play that just right now. This game, I know the next PS4 game, it's not one which I was too mad about in terms of how it works and stuff. I guess it's a stealthy type game, I suppose, really. It's a hacking game called Watch Dogs. I got this all new and sealed, $6.99. Again, not a bad price. I'm not sure if I'll get around to playing it or not, to be honest. But I've got it just in case I do decide to play it. Okay, these next 2 games, part of my Japanese fighting collections. It's a Blaze Blue Games. I saw this in game yesterday. It was I got this for 15 quid. It's a collector's edition of Blaze Blue Chrono Phantasm Extend. It rolls of a tongue, doesn't it? And it's a limited edition that comes with an art book. But also they had the PS Vita version as well for 15 quid. Which I thought 15 quid for a collector's edition of a PSV Vita game is pretty good, because if you just get the standard one, it would be the same money or not more. So I've got both collector's editions of that game, really, on the Vita and the PS4. And I always like to collect the Vita versions of games as well as the PS4 version, so I've got an option of playing it on the handheld. But yeah, they're quite nice little sets they are, so that wasn't too bad, 35 quid for those 2. That was 35 quid? No, it was both 15 quid each, weren't they? So it's about 30 quid for both, so that's not bad, is it? Okay. Alright, that's all my pickups for the last couple of weeks. I do have a few more games coming, but they're delayed in the post and so forth, so I'll show you next time. So Caitlin, are we going to be bothered to get up and actually say goodbye to people in YouTube world?
Bye-bye.
Is that the best they're going to get? Because they look forward to having your input, they really do. You've got a bit of a fan base growing on the internet. You know, it's a fan club called We Love Caitlin because she's a stroppy girl. No?
Now I'm not going to say because I was you just said that.
I've said that. Okay, so you're going to disappoint your fans, not going to show your face. Hey, she's here. She's Will.